All right, family. I need you to listen closely. Today, I'm speaking directly to those of you who feel like you're standing on the edge, barely holding on. You might be wondering, has God forgotten me? Maybe you're at a point where you feel like you're drowning, with life piling on challenges, one after another. Yet, somehow, just when you think you're about to go under, you find yourself rising to the surface again. Maybe you don't even know how it happens, but you're here, and you're still standing. If that's you, if you know that feeling, then this message is for you. Because here's the truth. Sometimes it may look like God is silent, like He's far away. But I'm here to tell you that silence doesn't mean He's gone. Sometimes God allows you to go through storms, not to punish you, but to teach you, to shape you. And when you're close to a breakthrough, when God is actively working on your life, there are signs. These aren't just ordinary signs. They're God's way of saying, I see you, I'm working on you, and I'm moving you towards something greater. Today, we're going to talk about 3 signs that God is zeroing in on your life, that He's focusing on your path, and that He's preparing you for something beyond anything you've ever imagined. And I'm going to be real with you. This message isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for the fighters, the ones ready for some truth, for those of you willing to receive the tough love that comes with God's purpose. Sign number 1. Your life is falling apart. The first sign that God is working in your life starts falling apart. And I'm not talking about a little disruption here and there. I'm talking about everything that once felt stable, everything that gave you comfort and security. Suddenly, it's slipping away. Maybe your relationships are crumbling. Friends you thought would stand by you forever are nowhere to be found. Opportunities you were counting on start to vanish, and you're left there wondering, why is everything I know disappearing? I know it feels painful, I know it feels like loss. But hear me when I say this. Sometimes God has to tear down the life you know to build the life He wants for you. Sometimes He has to shake the ground beneath your feet so you can't rely on anything or anyone but Him. Because when God is preparing you for greatness, He can't let you stay comfortable. Comfort keeps you stuck. Comfort keeps you in the ordinary. But God didn't create you to be ordinary. He created you for purpose, for greatness, for something that goes beyond the safe and familiar. Let's get real here. When God starts dismantling your life, sometimes it's because He knows that the life you've been living, the routines you've been clinging to, are too small for who He's calling you to be. Maybe you feel it deep down, this restless urge to change, to break free. And you don't understand it because on the outside everything looks fine. But you know in your heart that it's not enough. You're longing for more, and that longing is God's way of pushing you, of calling you out of the life you've known and into the life He's destined for you. And here's the tough truth. Sometimes it's not even you tearing things down. Sometimes life itself will come in and take away everything you thought you needed. Relationships, careers, friendships, all of it. You find yourself standing in the rubble of what you thought was secure. It's like the ground you were standing on has been ripped away, and you're left feeling vulnerable, exposed, and alone. But here's the thing. God hasn't abandoned you. He's pruning you. He's stripping away what's unnecessary to prepare you for what's coming. Imagine a tree before it can bear new fruit. It has to go through a season of shedding, a season where its branches are bare, stripped of everything it once had. In that season, it looks like loss. It looks like death. But in reality, it's preparation. Every branch, every leaf that falls away is making space for new growth, for new strength. And that's exactly what God is doing in your life. He's removing what you don't need so that you can receive what you truly deserve. Maybe you're feeling the weight of isolation. Friends are distancing themselves. Family doesn't understand you. You're questioning everything you thought you knew. But let me tell you something powerful. When you're walking a path with God, not everyone will understand. And that's okay. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone can see the vision God has planted in you. Because this journey, this path He's putting you on, is not about fitting in. It's about stepping up, about rising above, and about realizing that sometimes, in order to grow, you have to be willing to lose what no longer serves you. So stand up. Get your head up and stop feeling sorry for yourself because things aren't going your way. If God is tearing it down, it's because He's got something in mind that's better than anything you could have built on your own. And here's the truth. That new life, that purpose, that success, it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come without a fight. God is putting you through the fire because He knows you're strong enough to handle it. He's not trying to break you. He's trying to shape you into who He knows you can be. So, stop asking God to bring back what He's already taken away. Stop trying to rebuild what He's already torn down. Let Him lead you into the unknown. Let Him take you to a place you've never been before. Because where He's leading you, there are blessings you've never imagined. But you'll never get there if you keep clinging to what's already gone. Trust Him, even when it hurts, even when it doesn't make sense. Even when you feel like you're losing everything, trust Him. Because if He's taking it away, it's because He's making room for something bigger, something better. And let me tell you, when God rebuilds, when He restores, He doesn't just replace what you lost. He gives you something greater, something more powerful, something that goes beyond anything you could ever have planned. So if your life is falling apart, let it. If things are crumbling, if people are leaving, if doors are closing, let them. Because if God is the one doing the shaking, then you're about to be planted on solid ground. You're about to walk into a purpose that's so much bigger than the life you thought you wanted. Get ready, because this is just the beginning. Sign number 2. You see signs everywhere, synchronicities and the presence of God. This is where things get real. If God's hand is truly on you, He's going to start speaking in a language that doesn't need words. It'll show up in ways you least expect, through signs that are almost tailor-made for you. Synchronicities, those perfectly timed moments that feel like a setup. Those are no accident. God is speaking to you in ways that defy logic because He's letting you know that He's in control. He's the one orchestrating this, not you. You might not see the whole plan, but He's giving you glimpses, little winks from heaven, so you know He's with you. This is when the Spirit gets involved. Suddenly, you start feeling things in your body. It's like this quiet energy, this lifting sensation. this reassurance that something bigger than you is at work. You feel guided, like someone's whispering directions to your soul, keeping you on the right path. You'll start to notice that every decision you make, every choice, seems to move you in a direction you can't even comprehend. Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." He's directing you, showing you the signs, lifting you higher than you thought you could go. This is God's approval, his way of saying, you're on the right track. And when you feel it, you know it's real. You can't deny it. You're stepping into a flow, a rhythm that's not just about you. It's about his purpose for you. You think of something and it happens. You speak a prayer, and answers start to unfold. It's like God is rolling out the red carpet, laying down every step so you can walk in his purpose. But here's where I've got to give you the truth. This is also the most dangerous place you can be. Because when God's hand is on you, the enemy's eyes are on you too. See, the devil knows what's happening. He can see when God starts moving in someone's life, and he hates it. He hates to see God's chosen ones rising up, getting stronger, and finding their purpose. So he's going to try everything in his power to throw you off. He's going to throw doubt, fear, temptation, and distraction at you with everything he's got. And this is where you've got to be on guard. The Bible tells us in 1 Peter 5:8, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." And let me tell you, he's coming for you, especially when you're at this stage. Why? Because he knows that if he can shake your faith now, he might still have a chance. He's not coming after you when you're weak and broken. No, he's coming after you now, when you're rising, when you're stepping into God's calling. Because he knows that once you're fully grounded in that purpose, you're unstoppable. His is where the devil sends his servants, his distractions, his temptations. He'll send people who will try to convince you that you're imagining things. He'll whisper in your ear, "You're crazy. These signs aren't real." He'll try to fill you with doubt, make you second-guess every blessing, every synchronicity, every move of the Spirit. And this is where you have to stand firm. This is where you say, "No, I know my God is with me. I know he's showing me the way. I know this is real." When Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, God didn't just speak to him once and then leave him to figure it out. No, God sent signs. He sent plagues. He parted the Red Sea. He led them with a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day. Every step, every moment, God was saying, "I'm here. I'm with you." And that's exactly what he's doing in your life. He's sending signs, letting you know that he's guiding you, that he hasn't left you alone. But just like the Israelites, you have to keep your eyes open. You have to see his presence, his guidance, and hold on to it, even when the enemy tries to make you doubt it. So, if you're seeing those signs, if you're feeling that presence, if you're feeling that lift in your spirit, then know that God's hand is on you. But don't get comfortable. Stay vigilant, stay grounded, and keep your focus on him. Because in this stage, the devil is watching, waiting for any chance to pull you away. But as long as you keep your eyes on God, as long as you keep walking in faith, there's nothing the enemy can do to stop you. Sign number 3. Your faith gets bigger, and you know God is real. Here's the third sign, and this one is life-changing. You start to feel something different deep in your soul. It's not just belief, it's a knowing. Suddenly, you feel the presence of God in a way you can't ignore, in a way you can't explain. You might have been skeptical before. Maybe you were a doubter, someone who always needed proof. But now you don't need anyone to convince you. You know beyond any shadow of a doubt that God is real, and He's with you. This is the kind of faith that only comes through experience. This is the faith that grows in the fire, that's strengthened in the trials. And you know it's real, because it didn't come from comfort. It came from struggle. When you've seen God work in ways that defy reason, when you've felt His hand guiding you, lifting you, saving you, something in you shifts. You no longer need to be convinced. You don't just believe in God, you know Him. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." That's the kind of faith we're talking about. It's not just hope, it's evidence. It's knowing that even though you can't see Him, He's there. Even though you can't touch Him, you feel Him. And when you start to know God like this, everything changes. You start to see your life differently. You start to see that your existence is not random, that it's not by chance. There's a purpose, a calling, a reason for everything you've been through. Every battle, every victory, every loss. Think about Paul in the Bible. Paul was a skeptic, a persecutor of Christians, someone who thought he knew it all. But when he encountered God on the road to Damascus, his entire life changed. He went from doubter to believer, from skeptic to servant. And it wasn't because someone convinced him. It was because he encountered the living God. That's what's happening in your life. God is opening your eyes, awakening you to the truth of who He is, showing you that He's been with you all along, guiding you, protecting you, preparing you. And as your faith grows, so does your understanding of your purpose. You start to realize that your life isn't just about you. It's not just about getting through each day, each struggle. It's about fulfilling a purpose, a destiny that's bigger than you. You start to understand that every step, every moment, every decision is part of God's plan, part of a divine calling that goes beyond anything you could have imagined. When you reach this level of faith, you stop worrying about what other people think. You stop needing validation from the world because you know that you're validated by God. You're grounded in a truth that doesn't waver, a faith that doesn't break. And that faith becomes your foundation, your anchor, your guide. This is the ultimate sign that God is with you, that He's guiding you, that He wants you to succeed. When your faith reaches this level, nothing can shake you. The storms may come, the trials may test you, but you know without a doubt that God is with you. You're calm, you're grounded, you're wise, because you know that you're not alone. You know that every step, every struggle, every victory is part of His plan, and you trust Him completely. So, there you have it. 3 signs that God wants you to succeed and is actively working in your life. If you're seeing the signs, if you're feeling His presence, if your faith is growing stronger by the day, then know that you're not on this journey by accident. God is guiding you, leading you, lifting you up, because He has a purpose for you. But remember, with these signs comes responsibility. The enemy is watching. waiting to throw you off course, so stay vigilant. Stay grounded in your faith, keep your eyes on God, and don't let anything distract you from the path He's set before you. Keep going, keep trusting, and know that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Because when God is on your side, when His hand is guiding you, there's nothing and no one that can stand in your way. You're destined for greatness, and He's making sure you get there.